Hi, Darran. Thank you so much for joining us on Black Ink Cinema podcast.
Cool, thanks for having me. Excited.
AKA Griff the Joker.
Yeah, it's been a name. It's not anymore. It's not anymore.
No?
No, I'm just.
Oh,
just
sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Just bringing it back up.
Bring it back.
Okay, it's fine. We live in our youth. It's okay. So you're here to talk about one of my favourite films of all time. But before we get into that, we want to get to know you a little bit better.
Sure.
How did you get started in comedy?
So I got started in comedy for 2016. I was doing a personal development course.
Okay.
And they basically said, what is your dream? Like, what would you like to do if you don't give a reasonable answer, be unreasonable and stuff? And I tried to give a reasonable answer. No, just say what's in your mind and stuff. And I went, comedian. And they go, okay. So basically what the whole course was about is putting actions to words. So they said, right, you've got 15-minute break. Make it happen. Take a step towards becoming a comedian. So I was like, okay, I don't know how to do that. That's not what the course is about. Go do it. So then I signed up for a weekend course of how to do comedy, and then did my first gig after that 2-day course.
How did people respond to you?
Well, the first one, it was it always made me easy because I had lots of friends turn up to that. So my first real gig was 2 weeks after.
Right.
And it was in front of actually a real crowd.
Got you.
And stuff. Yeah, that was a bit daunting because that was my first gig, and on that bill was Miss Mo Real, then Will E. Robo, Break, Travis J,
wow,
me, then Kojo.
Okay.
And Kane Brown was hosting.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Okay.
So that was my first gig.
I mean, that's a baptism of fire.
Yeah.
So I guess it was good.
Yeah, I went okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any rituals you do beforehand?
No. Yeah, but no.
I feel like I need the answer to the yeah.
You don't want it?
Okay, cool. It's fine, you can...
I'll say I visit a certain room at the venue.
I got you. I know exactly.
Before.
Say no more. It's okay.
There you go.
My imagination has answered the question. Thank you. Did you have any influences that you looked up to in terms of comedy-wise?
In terms of comedy, not to get into comedy. I didn't see anyone do comedy. I thought, that's the guy and I want to do that. It was more of I come from a family of kind of entertainers and stuff, like singers and music production. Yeah, it's one of those ones, and it's I went down the studious route, went to uni, and studied to become an accountant.
Oh, he's a straight one. Did
that. Yeah, so when I told people I'm going to be a comedian, they're like, you?
Yeah.
I was like,
really funny.
Yeah, I'm funny. My friends think I'm funny. Honestly, I'm funny. And they're like, okay, we'll wait and see.
And then they laugh.
And then they laughed. And it's like, oh, right. I didn't know you were funny. I've known you all my life.
I mean, very observant.
Yeah.
Rude.
I'll take it.
Exactly. So anyone from the new generation of comedians that you look up to or like...
Yeah, so obviously now I've started doing, just before I started doing comedy and doing comedy, I guess of the kind of old guards, obviously your big stars like Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock.
We will get on to Chris Rock shortly.
Bill Burr. So those are the guys like your big US guys, and then I guess from the UK, more of just on, I guess the urban circuit, the black circuit.
You're not allowed to say the U word.
The urban. That's what I did. That's what I did like that.
It grates on me so much.
But on the black circuit, Slim. Slim was the guy Slim. I used to see and be like, wow, that's amazing. Kane Brown as well. That's why I was crazy to be on my first show with him hosting.
You manifested it. It's fun.
Yeah, because before I did comedy, all I ever saw was him host, and he he has a tendency to roast people in the crowd.
He's a good host.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
So when someone said, "I'll just message him to get the gig," I was like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
In my life, I don't want it.
You don't want to catch that smoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, I'm
but
good.
He was just like, yeah, sure, come down.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, and then obviously of my peers, I'll say peers in terms of age. It's weird with comedy. I think Seinfeld said that you're as old as you've been doing comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for example, say there's a group of me, Travis, Jay, Ori Styler, and Axel Blake.
All friends of the show.
All of us are born within like months of each other.
Okay.
Like, so I think Travis technically the school year above us.
Yeah.
But so we're the same age. So when it comes to talk about life, yeah, we're peers and we talk on a level.
Yeah.
When it comes to comedy, they're all bigger brothers to me. They're
Okay,
all
got
older
you.
to me because they've
Yeah.
been going like 5-6 years longer than I have. So it's like I don't feel like I can talk to them on a level. They're very, cool and accommodated to me and welcoming to the brotherhoods and stuff of like other
That's
comedians.
nice.
But in my head, I'm like, no, you're still like big bro kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They have been around forever.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like that for me. How do you think the comedy scene has changed in the last 5 years?
I guess, I don't know, it's hard for me to say because I started in 2016. I haven't been in it long enough to kind of see a change. It's only just been however I've been in it. I don't know. Maybe I've seen more guys from the black circuit actually realise that this country knows a lot more about black culture, that you don't actually have to water down your jokes so much.
Oh,
so when
okay.
you are performing in front of like a whiter crowd or a mixed crowd, you don't actually have to really explain your jokes as much. They get, the whole kind of story of being black and being British and stuff. So just tell your joke and they'll just go with it.
But do you think that's because of the rise of people like Mo Gilligan and
100%.
Black to Front?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think those kind of things on TV and film and stuff, it's opened their eyes to that world. I guess what our challenge is as, comedians and artists and, people create is to now diversify the black stories.
Yes.
So, and that's not me having any dig at existing stories. Like, I love Top Boy.
Yeah.
I
haven't finished it.
I
know some people,
people acting really jobless and watching the whole show
down.
in one day.
Like, got to pace yourself,
And some people act like they're their own person on the internet. Like, oh my days, can't believe this happened to so and so.
Like,
and I watched it. I haven't even got to that episode yet.
Oh my God. I'm like one episode a night type of person because I need to digest, decode, have a conversation. Okay, now we can move on. And also, some of the performances are amazing.
Yeah,
like,
you've got to appreciate it.
So good. Exactly. And I just feel like binge watching it is kind of rude.
Same as albums. It's like the album get released on that day and then before midday someone's like, the album's crap. I'm just like, how do you know the album's like, how have you listened to it?
You haven't put it on repeat enough to say it's crap or not.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, you'd get a CD and you'd know that CD from beginning to end.
Yes.
Word for word.
Interludes and all.
It was one of the 4 CDs you had.
Yeah.
So you had to just learn it.
And you had to write the words. We didn't have Google back then, so that's how you kind of learn.
You know what I mean? You had to learn.
You had to handwrite.
Yes, I didn't have the official copies. I didn't have the $9.99 with the little insert. With
the inserts was the best part.
No.
It was like, if it didn't have words in there, you're like, oh, mate.
My
now
friends
I've
bought
got
their
work.
CDs from like HMV. I bought mine from like the barber shop.
The in-shops.
Yeah, so I might have a CD just, after a rave or something.
Oh, yeah, that was the best. I mean,
so, because my sister's older, she'll come back with the CDs, like a rave CDs.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I guess this is the music I like now, because this is my 5th CD I have.
It's so funny, the influence your older siblings do have, though. It's like, this is what you like, whether you like it or not. It's because what they listen to.
I had the 112 Part 3 album. Didn't have any of the albums before. Any of the albums after, that was it.
Okay.
So that was like my one. So when people go, I'm talking about older 112 songs, like, don't know it.
Okay.
Ain't heard it.
No, didn't go back and...
I've just got this one CD.
And had that on loop.
Yeah, that was it.
So where could people find you on socials?
Sure, you can find me at Griff Darran, so GRIFFDARRAN, family Jamaican, so they just remixed the name Darran for no reason.
Of course.
Darran works, DARREN, but
no.
My mum said the reason she spelled it like that is because that's how it's said. And I was like, it's not really. She said, it's Darran. I'm like, that's kind of...
I love that.
That's how you say it.
I feel like you should lead with that when you're introducing yourself, because that's brilliant. That has personality.
So that's how
that's where you get your bands from.
Yeah,
your
my mum.
Yeah, got you. So Black Ink Cinema is all about celebrating black cinema, and you chose one of my favourite films, The Pursuit of Happyness, which I think is probably Will Smith's best performance. And we just happened to be filming this the morning after the Oscars and the beef slap situation shit happened with Chris and Will. we will get into the film, but we need to, I feel like this is the first opportunity I've got a chance to actually speak to someone properly about the situation. What were your first thoughts?
So first thoughts, I woke up in the morning, because I didn't watch the Oscars. So I woke up in the morning, got the WhatsApp message from my cousin in the WhatsApp group, saw the video, and I was like, and my other cousin, is this real? So I click on it, I'm like, okay, wow, all right. And it was the full uncut version I saw.
Okay.
So I was really confused just at what happened. Just like, right. Then went into my other WhatsApp group. It's like, okay, they're talking about it. And then another one, then I went onto Twitter. And I was like, no, this really happened.
Yeah.
This really, okay.
Twitter confirmed it for me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's 100% true now, because Twitter, it says it's all over Twitter, then it must be true. I, like you, had to go through various sources before I could believe what I'd actually seen. And I knew it was real when I heard the bass in Will's voice. Yeah. Like when he sat down and he was like, keep my wife's name out of your... Because my sister has a similar bass. So she's like, Shaz is the sweetest, calmest person ever.
But when the bass...
But there's times when some of my other siblings will push her.
She goes into settings.
Then
it turns up bass.
Then it goes from like sweet Shaz to bass, and that's when you know it's very serious. Like everyone just is like, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh, you've gone and pissed him off, because I recognised that bass in his voice. I was scared. I was like, what's happening?
What I found most interesting about it is most people I know, where I'm from, you tend to give like a verbal warning first, right? So you tend to, so he did it the other way round, like. Most people tend to say something like that, like keep my wife's name out of it, and it's like, or what? It's like, I'll do this. Yeah. So then you can then assess, well, do I want that? No, I don't. Yeah. But Will went, no. I'll slap you first, and then I'll give you the warning, the instruction of what happened. Like this is why I slapped you, and then it's now Chris like, well, it's done now, isn't it? Like what can I
it felt like a black mum. Like, you know, black mums react first, and then they're like, if you carry on, I'm going, you've already beaten me. Like, what?
And it was just Chris. That's how he was just staring down camera. And you can see, you watch it closely, you see I'm not sure if his mouth's like this naturally, but there was a slight lean. There was a slight lean in the mouth.
It could just be from the slap.
And he was just like, what cracked me up most about it though, it was the wow dude. Like he had nothing else to say. And
he was just like, wow.
Yeah, he was just like, wow, dude.
I just got smacked.
It's like his brain
was
couldn't process what happened.
Yeah.
His face was just stinging, just sizzling.
I felt that slap from where I was. I was like, you stayed up.
Then
he went back. He went back.
Back here, came from.
That was the Muhammad Ali training coming through there. That was straight.
From the hip. From the
hip. Like, and then throughout the day, like yourself, people were like asking for comments. No one cares what I think, but people asking. And I was conflicted.
So
I couldn't give a straight answer because
hypocrisy from me. I was
so much.
I was pensioning. I was just speaking from both sides. If you could have left me in the WhatsApp group by myself, and I was just arguing with myself about it. Like anyone who brought a new point, I was like, no, because what you got to think about is that's his wife. But he's a comedian, so he should be allowed to say what.
I was doing the exact same thing. So someone asked me, and I'm sure I sent them like a 6-minute voice note explaining my for and against argument for why it was justified and it's not justified all at the same time. Like you, defending his wife's honour. She has alopecia, so, you know, G.I. Jane by choice, alopecia is not by choice. Right. Don't make fun of someone. You don't, and as someone who's kind of followed her hair journey and watches the Red Table Talk, I know it's not a touchy subject, but obviously it's a sensitive subject. So I was just a bit like, ooh, making fun of someone, how they look is a little bit, you know.
And I think as well, like sometimes, when you're in the public eye, whatever, like people say, oh, you got to expect this and that. Yeah. And I think what happens is, you know, when you go into a room with people, you know they like to banter and whatever. You almost know what jokes they're going to say about you.
Yes.
So you're prepared. So they're probably sat down going, they're going to talk about entanglement.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so, entanglement. They're going to talk about the kids. Okay, cool. We're ready for that. They probably did like a little ritual and said like, I got you. It's all good. And then when they got in, the Chris was just like, G.I. Jane. There was like, whoa, that was on script.
And it was such an uncle joke. No one under the age of 30 is going to understand that reference.
No.
Like, I love that film. Demi Moore, she looks amazing, like, fantastic. But they're going to be like, what are you talking about, kind of thing.
I feel bad, though, because I didn't know she had alopecia.
Yes.
So I thought the joke was about a film that Jada had filmed, G.I. Jade, like a remake.
See,
and I just hadn't watched it.
The shade is layered. This is why the shade is layered.
And then someone said the shade is super layered.
Yeah.
Because G.I. Jade was played by Demi Moore, who left her husband for a younger man.
No, she didn't leave her husband for a younger man. They'd already broken up a very long time.
Jada said.
No, that is, people are reaching. Stop it.
Hey,
like, I'm very
Chris
familiar.
Rock is that level.
Just were like,
of comedians.
I don't think he thought it that deep. I think the slap might have just, you know.
I saw a triangle.
I
saw.
You made the connection. Also, I felt like the slap was for everybody and everything he'd dealt with over the last couple of years, and it just happened that, okay, that is it. Like, that was
Chris Rock caught other people's slaps.
He caught all of the slaps that everyone should, every meme, you know. And I think why I felt sorry for him as a member of the Nice People Club, people often take that for granted, and so he was like, nah. And one day, nice people, we switch, and then people are shocked. Like,
it's tough.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you're wild all the time, everyone's like, oh, that's just you. That's just normal. Kanye does it.
No, exactly.
No one will bat an eyelid.
No, it reminded me of when I heard my mum swear. She doesn't swear. She's like Jamaican lady, doesn't swear. And I think my sister told me it's too loud, and she swore up the stairs. I remember just looking at her. I was like 10. I remember just looking at her. I was like, I'm disappointed. Like, I was like,
that was the Denzel look.
Yeah. Uncle Denzel.
Uncle Denzel was so disappointed.
And even when like Will quotes him in his speech, Uncle Denzel still just like,
Uncle's like, why are you dragging me into your bullshit?
Don't mention my name. I don't
I'm not co-signing this. No. Like, don't think that I'm on board.
Because the way Will quoted Denzel as if to say, and that's why I slapped him. It's like, no, that isn't what the quote meant. That
he was like bringing in your older brother like as backup.
Isn't it?
It's cool.
Yeah.
Because he thinks I'm okay for doing it.
Nah.
Yeah.
And what I was conflicted. I was watching it as a comedian. I was watching it as a husband as well. And not even so much that it's, you got to defend your wife. It isn't so much that. It was just that sometimes you just feel insane pressure for your wife. And for your woman, like as a guy, like women don't even understand, as a guy. Because a lot of guys watch that, go, I would have done this, I would have done that.
I can't do.
We don't like feel that pressure on that level, on Oscar night level. We feel that pressure, say you're at home, neighbours play music too loud, and you like, tell them to turn the music down. It's like, but it's kind of, the music's not that loud. Like, it's not even, like, I don't need to do that. And you know it's just bare man there next door. You don't even know what they're on. And it's like, it's 11 o'clock and they're playing music loud. So I think they're on a madness anyway.
You don't want to be the person.
Just go next door. And then your wife's like, I'll go next door. And it's like, oh man, okay.
No, you have to go.
Oh man. And you're there like, you leave the house with Vim and then, you walk out and you're like, okay, well, what am I going to say, man? Cool. Like, if they're gonna, and you knock, you knock like that. It's like, and then you go for a bang and then it's like, oh, that was too aggressive, man. I've
you've started something now.
And if you watch the video, you see Will laughs.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if that's a nervous laugh or he did actually genuinely find it funny, or he's just like
one of those things that you're just used to doing.
You just laugh like I'm actor mode, I'm a front row at the Oscars, I've got to laugh.
I've got to laugh the ha ha ha.
But you see Jada roll her eyes straight away.
She gives the sister look, which is like really.
And I feel like Will probably is giving, the big old Will Smith laugh, turns to look at Jada, and sees her face, he's like,
oh, we're not finding this funny.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to do something then. He didn't have to do that, but I understand why he felt he had to do something.
Yeah.
And stuff, but you can't tell someone how to react.
No, you can't. And maybe he probably felt, because of what's been going on, that he needed to protect her in that moment.
Yeah.
And also, this is where it's very touchy for me. Chris has a habit of coming for us, innit? Yeah, he has a habit of coming for the sisters. And it always feels like, and he'll sit there and let his friends say the N-word. Yeah. His non-black friends say the N-word. So he's always been a bit like, sometimes questionable. Do you know what I mean?
He's going to get think pieced the hell out of it.
And so I felt like that defense was on so many other levels. Yeah. And I think in that moment, especially with everything that happened, with King Richard and the things that have happened behind the scenes, fighting for them to get paid more and equally as, the black women, the young black girls. I don't think he felt like, if I don't defend her, it's going to look disrespectful to like all of the black women.
True, and
if
it
that
makes
sense.
sense. If I'm defending all these other black women, but I'm not going to defend the one I'm actually married to.
Exactly.
As someone's comfort. Like, there's so many layers to it. If you want to bring race into it, and I say bring race into it, it's always there. But like the idea of, okay, would Will have done that if it was a white host?
Okay, so then this is the objective side.
That kind of internalized racism of it, just like, because even with rap music, the N word, it's a term of endearment, but really it's said with a lot of vim towards other black people. Isn't it? So it's one of those ones that, would you do that to someone who you don't see as part of your community?
If Ellen or Ricky Gervais or Amy
that'd be
Schumer
mad if you slapped Ellen
had said, that would have been the end.
Woman, LGBT,
that would have been the
as
end.
well. Oh man.
And so it was like, I know he wouldn't have.
They would have taken the Oscar away from him on that.
What do you mean? He would have got the Oscar. They would have been like, we're changing it now.
You would just think Roll VT.
The end. And so then I'm then upset with him for doing that, because it just maybe this is a bit extreme, but it's like that black on black crime. It's like, guys, we look like fools up there just fighting over what exactly? Like little diss, like a playground diss. That's what it was essentially. So I was like, it felt like a bit of an entertainment for the massa moment for me. If I'm going to look at it deeply.
No, but it did turn into that, because now you've got a black guy slapping another black guy. Black man, because they're both in their 50s.
Very, very grown.
Yeah.
Before they pull a muscle, they're very, very grown. And that's why Chris couldn't come back, because he's like, no, I'm not on it. I'm not on it.
My hip. That's why Will just walked off like, this can't be a fight, because I used all
But he
energy.
steps, if you see, when he slaps him, he steps aside, almost like ready, just in case
That's
Chris...
Ali trading.
I'm telling you, it came full circle.
For the counter.
Yeah, he was ready. He was, But also, that was probably the most sophisticated gangster moment one will ever see.
It was mad. It still didn't feel natural for me, because how much... that's my perception of Will.
Yes, but that's everyone's perception, and that's why it's shocking.
And I guess that's part of why he did it, in the sense of people keep on taking me for an idiot.
Yes.
And stuff. And this is probably the first time someone's ever tried to tell the joke with him in the room.
Yes.
So it was just like,
good guy, good bad.
Got to recategorize myself. Because a lot of people going, if it wasn't Chris Rock, would Will have done that? And I said, cool, but let's imagine if Will Smith was 50 Cent, would Chris Rock have told that joke to 50 Cent? So it's just like, so what Will wanted to do is go, I'm putting myself in the category of person that you don't run those jokes with.
Yeah. Which is just, it's like, what I find interesting is Will's chosen this moment.
This was your best moment, Will.
You've chosen at the point where it's the best night of your life. He's essentially won the Oscar. Of course, he done that afterwards, but he didn't know. But it was like, you picked today.
Yeah. I mean, if you remove that slap from that equation and he does that speech, how much of a clown does Chris Rock then look?
Yes, exactly.
If he doesn't slap him, or if he literally goes,
because he would have had the last laugh. So it was like, well,
because that speech needed to be done. Because it was a great speech.
It was wonderful.
And then if he just went, all right, I've got my award now, and he just grabbed his wife's hand and go, we're leaving. That would have been. People would have been like, okay, all right, fair enough. There still would have been August memes and tweets, because we're immature, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I have no lives.
I've got no maturity. Like, I wish I was as mature as Denzel and Tyler Perry.
Yes.
To put the arm around them. Rather than me, I would have been there just text go, Rob, well, here, what happened,
What do you mean? My camera would have been out just when he recording.
If I was Lupita in the back, you would just see me.
Lupita's face. She was all of us. Literally, like, did what?
Because you see her
eyes did the most.
And then, like I said, when the bass came in, you see she's like,
okay. This is not funny.
And she's like, all right, I'm on camera though, so I've got to just keep. I still got to look beautiful, so.
Exactly. It was almost like when I've seen my siblings go off.
Yeah.
And you're just like, like you don't know what to say, because you get where they're coming from, but also they're going all the way off. So you're just like, I'm just gonna keep quiet over here. Yeah, just be. I don't want to catch that smoke, so I'm good. So have we got everything out of my system?
We've got it out.
Because
Yeah, no, I think we touched it all, didn't we?
The only thing that I'm upset about is that overshadowed his win.
Yeah.
And he's been owed this for so long.
So many people like me thought he'd already won one for Ali.
No.
Yeah.
He was up for Pursuit of Happyness.
Yeah.
But lost to Forrest Whitaker.
Has he always lost to another black guy? Because Ali, he lost to Denzel in Training Day, I think.
Ooh, conspiracy.
It's now your turn.
We're passing the black hat around, one of us, one at a time, every however many years. This is allowed to happen. But that is very interesting. I didn't even realise that about Ali. Again, brilliant performance.
It's almost like, it's like, if we just give it to another black guy, Will can't accuse us of being racist.
Yeah.
We're not going to give him it.
At this point, it was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
It felt like the Leo moment where they were just like, I mean, that was a brilliant performance, but it was almost like, we got to give this guy an Oscar. Like, come on.
Yeah, because I haven't even seen the
Reverend.
But that's like not Leo's best film. People have said to me, like, it's great.
I think it's phenomenal,
but it's like
it's one of his best films.
He could have won it for so many other.
Absolutely.
So it's to the point where it's like, this is good enough to give you the Oscar we should have given you these other years, but we hadn't been able to. That's what a lot of people said. But.
And that's what I think about The Pursuit of Happyness, which is, I rewatched it again, of course, for this podcast, and I always sob, like legit sob like a baby watching it on so many scenes. Yeah. Why did you pick The Pursuit of Happyness?
I think it's one of those films that kind of cemented to me that Will Smith, as an actor, he's one of my favourite actors, and he knows how to, for whatever reason, just tap into my emotion. Yes. And make me go wherever he is. Like, even if I'll laugh at what he's laughing at, and then I'll be sad about what he's sad about. I mean, everyone thinks about the famous thing in Fresh Prince when, why don't you want me, man? That scene. And you're just there like, I've seen this episode like 40 times. Why am I like
crying.
this?
Yeah, it gets me.
Yeah, and it's like, I know my dad. But me and my dad... and
but you out here.
I've never watched it like my dad abandoned me. Like, I was like, because that's what he does, right? So it's like, when I'm watching Pursuit of Happyness, it's just every aspect of, the kind of the struggle that he goes through, life is just kicking him almost at every turn, the relationship that he has with his son. Even Jaden in that film is like great, even though it's
the introduction to Jaden, and he was phenomenal. I thought it was absolutely, he was so cute. Yeah,
he was
so cute.
And I'm a fan of Jaden as an adult, to be fair. I think he's a cool guy. But yeah, and just the journey he takes you through that film, like I said, that emotional journey. Like the one scene that always burns into my head is the toilet. So where they're in the toilet in the train station.
The toilet scene, first of all. I was like, this is too much. Who did this? Like, what? That is probably one of the most heartbreaking scenes you will ever see on so many levels. Like, and also the little kid, like Jaden knows, like, this is all pretend, all made up, but he's just doing it for his dad's sake as well. And I remember when a bit later on in the film when they say, we're going to stay in the train station again, and he was like, no, some things are just fun the first time, we're not going to do that. But it was just like so sad, and I can't help but cry every single time I see that scene.
And it reminds me of moments of like when I was younger, like didn't have any struggles like that, luckily, but those kind of struggles where as a kid you're actually more aware of it than maybe your parents either know or would like you to know. Yes. And you try to say, like, you try to help them out in a way. Like, there's little scenes where, like you said, in the shop, goes to on the chocolate,
the candy,
he goes, no, I'm okay. And I remember being like that as a kid, just going, I know, like, money isn't great right now, so I'm not going to ask.
Of course, anything. Being considerate.
And then it's just like, no, you can have, and it's like, you can have one. It's like, okay. I did really want one, but yeah, cool. So, yeah, it's those scenes, that toilet scene, man, it always gets me. I remember where I was watching the film for the first time. I was at uni in Birmingham. I was watching it with my friend Mira, and I remember sat there, like, watched it, just looking at the screen, and just like tears coming down my face, and just thinking, right, if I turned and look at her, she'll look at me, and then she'll see me crying. Therefore, I'm not going to look at her.
She would have been crying herself, probably.
No, she was cold. She was heartless.
Anyone who doesn't cry watching The Pursuit of Happiness have to question your humanity.
You're one of the first women I've spoken to, because every guy I spoke to goes, man, that film's emotional. Every woman says, it's like, why do guys think this film's so emotional? I was like, what has happened to you?
They're damaged. They're absolutely damaged.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. No, there are so many, because I feel like that's the sort of film, when it rains, it pours. He cannot catch a break. No. It was like one of those things was sad enough. But it's like, your wife leaves you. Yep. You get robbed. You get run over. How do you get run over? You lose a shoe. Like, anyone else, I was like, I can understand why some people would be like, you know what, I give up. Yeah. Like, I give up on life because it's actually too hard.
Yeah.
Like, it makes complete sense.
And like the dark comedy in it for me is those stupid bone density machines he's trying to sell.
Bone density machine.
Like, he's just like,
I'm sure he regretted ever seeing them.
Because only when I rewatched it again, because when my memory of it was he wasn't aware of like how rubbish these machines were. But in the very first scene, he goes, they do something like, it's like 20% better image than an X-ray, but for double the price. Yeah. And so he knows I'm working uphill to sell these things.
But he believes himself, though. Yeah. He's like, I can do this.
And the amount of people kept on robbing these machines off him. It's like...
When the hippie lady robbed him, the homeless guy...
The time machine.
The time machine. Yeah. I was just like... And then you know the bit when he's like running with Jaden to catch the bus, because obviously they have to get to the homeless place. And then he drops his toy.
Again.
That, till this day, I'm just wondering what happened to it. Like, what happened? We didn't ever go back to find
close it off. Because you would thought Hollywood style. Yeah. When he's made it, he's like, and here's your toy.
I bought you a new one.
Yeah. But no, they just left it to go, what happened to that toy?
Yeah, that toy probably got run over 1,000,000 times.
And I think those moments as well was like, again, Jaden in the film where he goes between the lines of, aware child, playing along with in the toilet, playing along with, not all ask for the caddy. And then, but he's a child.
Exactly.
So when it's like, they can't get into the room. And he's like, yes, we can. And he starts just, and Will having to break being good dad. And he's like, shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just get your stuff and go.
Yeah, get yourself to shut up, we're going and stuff. And he's crying and stuff. It's like, oh man, just like the stress.
At that moment, you can see that Jaden, his character, grows up a little bit. Yeah. In that moment, he's no longer a kid. No. He's had to just fix up, look sharp very, very quickly, because he doesn't have the luxury of being a kid and just throwing a tantrum, because it's like, dude, we've got to go find somewhere to sleep tonight, which is such a sad thing for a child, let alone a dad, to have to kind of, the realization of that. It just broke my heart on so many levels. And I think, I'm sure like Chris Garner went on to have more kids and stuff, but they will never have the same connection and relationship as him and his firstborn, because of what they've gone through. 100%. Because all the other kids came when they had money, I'm sure, and life was good. And I'm sure Jaden's, the real kid, is like, you have no idea to his younger siblings, like, what we went through. I'm very sure, because my older brother does the same thing all the time. Always like, you lot had it easy. And I'm like, no, just probably easier, but not easy, by comparison. So I can only imagine, like, but probably made him the man he is today.
100%.
Strong. So a lot of people are afraid to go after what they want, let alone in those circumstances.
That's the film, isn't it? In a sense of, literally, like I said, the pursuit of happiness, and some of us are in a position where you can actually at least be on that pursuit, and there's other people like, I don't have time. Yeah. I don't have time to be pursuing something as, as fluffy. Yes. As happiness. I've literally got bills to pay, mouths to feed. What's this happiness thing? I'm going to do my job that I hate. Yeah. I'm going to come home and, do something else. And, you know what I mean? And it's just, they're not living, they're just, surviving.
Living to work.
Yeah. And stuff.
And that's who Thandie Newton represents. Like, her character is almost too realistic. Like, it's, can't imagine a better life. No. She just works, and when he says he wants to do this and he wants to do the intern, she's just like,
do you know what, an astronaut?
It's It was like, oh, mate, talk about crushing someone's
Innit?
dreams. But you get where she's coming
100%.
from. Like, if
100%.
she's having to pull double shifts for however long.
Yeah.
She's frustrated and she's
not the bad
angry.
guy, innit?
She's not the bad guy,
No.
even though she's made to be out like she's the bad guy. But if you're an empathetic person to understand, actually put yourself in her shoes, and she's been carrying them for how long and whatnot. And I'm sure they had all these like promises at the beginning of what their relationship would be like.
100%.
And for it to be like this, and it's probably lost the romance and stuff like that.
You got that much stress again. Romance becomes a luxury again. I think.
Oh yeah,
You've got that much stress.
you could see when they were sleeping in the bed, and she like pulls the covers, and it was just like, God, I could feel the animosity. Like, everyone's unhappy here.
Yeah.
Everyone is unhappy here. Why are we doing this to ourselves?
Yeah.
This is actual torture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many layers to that film in terms of top social topics.
Yes.
Like, even when it's him trying to find a place for him to stay, and it's like a women's refuge.
Oh my God, do you know that's something that hadn't even crossed my mind?
Yeah.
That there is a lot of these places for women's refuge with
and
child.
and that's sad in itself, in the sense of
Horrific.
that they feel like they need to have that many facilities for women to go, and they could almost readily go there.
Yeah.
But then it's like, when it's a guy in that situation, it's like, nah, there's no space here for you. Like, he can come, but
you can't. And this is where, and I think that's one of the reasons why I love The Pursuit of Happiness, because actually you got to see a father fight for his son. Like, aggressively. You don't often see that. That's not depicted, let alone a black father fight for his son.
Exactly.
To that extent. So that's one of the reasons why I love it. And of course, someone like Will playing it, and he's like, oh, you are super dad anyway. So it's like, adopt me, please. So it was really refreshing to kind of see that. And obviously we know where this story goes, and he gets the intern and lives happily ever after. But it was just like, to kind of witness that journey. I'm sure there was even worse bits. I feel like there could have been other things that probably happened that he just thought, maybe that's too much. Let me just rein it in a little bit and give them this. But it was actually really refreshing, especially back in 2006, to see a story like that.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit ahead of its time.
I think so. Yeah. Do you know what? Because imagine if that film came out after, like, say, Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
thing.
It would have been reactive.
That would have been Oscars.
Yeah. Down.
Chew it. Like, chew it.
Yes, we've got it.
It has to be. Like, there would have been just social media outrage if it wasn't.
If he didn't. Yeah, absolutely. And I just feel like, but also the reason why I didn't win it, Forest Whitaker won it. Last King of Scotland. There could be an argument in this as well that, of course, Forest Whitaker wins it playing a dictator and a villain and a bad. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And again, just like Denzel won it for Training Day, out of all the films that he would have won, just like Halle Berry wins it when she's playing a little bit of a scandalous woman, like a drug, and it was just a bit like, that's what's frustrating.
Exactly.
About it.
He's just such a good character.
Good guy.
In there.
And Hollywood were like, nah, that's not really fitting with our narrative. We're just...
No. And it's...
First you get it.
Exactly. And one thing, rewatching the film, one thing that I didn't appreciate in the film was literally how much running Will does in this film.
Oh my God.
This guy is running everywhere.
First of all, Will has one of the best runs in Hollywood. Like...
Full leg stride.
Full, like, proper sprinter, Michael Johnson kind of stride, it was, I'm at the Olympics.
Yeah, it's unreal. And just, when I was watching it, I was like, he's literally runs between every scene.
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't have the time.
Money as well to travel.
Is that if I don't get on this bus, it's the knock-on effect, isn't it? It's that kind of luxury of time.
Yes. That scene when he bumps the cab driver and the cab driver doesn't have it and like chases him down. I shouldn't laugh, but it was like one of the funniest things I've seen.
But even that, it's like, it's funny, but it's not. But it's deep though as well, because you see him before he does it.
He's contemplating.
And he's like, this ain't me. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy who bumps cabs.
And but I have to.
And goes.
And then he forgets
I've got to get this bone density, this dumb machine.
That bit was so hilarious. It was like, of course you forget the frigging machine.
Wow.
I know we both love Jaden's performance, but what about it was it that you appreciated, considering that was his like debut?
Yeah, that's me. It was his debut. And and if you're really critical, you'd be like, well, you're playing your dad's son in a film. How hard is that? Mm-hmm. I imagine pretty hard, because your dad
is Will,
struggling through life like this.
Yes.
So this isn't a life you've ever seen. Like, maybe Will could play that child because where he grew up and stuff. I'm sure Will's life wasn't that rough, but he had more of an insight into what real life is.
Yeah.
Jade has grown up literally a billionaire, so for him to portray that kind of relationship with his dad on screen, I thought it was just like amazing stuff, like his character just
and also growing up in the shadow of Will.
Yeah,
that must. I mean, he was too young, I guess, at that point to kind of understand the gravity of it. But Will's not going to let him fail. Like you can imagine, Will's probably going to be the hardest on him.
You imagine
on set.
Yeah,
than the director.
Hey, maybe just try this.
They're like, no, back up. Let me back up.
He's in the film with me.
Yeah.
No.
We've got to make sure. If you're going to cry, you better cry properly. Probably pinched him as well, just to make sure. And Tandy Newton, one of the things I appreciated about her character is that she represents those people that are kind of like the naysayers, or the people, you have a dream or you have an idea and they're like, no, you can't do that, because they don't see themselves like that, or they don't believe that they can.
You get caught in the rat race of, for me to get out of this situation, some people like, let me start pursuing my dream, pursuing happiness and stuff. But instead, what a lot of people and most people in society go, I'll just have to double down into this thing, so I'll do double shifts to do that. It's like, well, that's not going to get you out of
the rat race.
Yeah, of the rat race. But that's all people know. I'll just work harder. I'll just work longer.
Yeah.
At this thing I don't like, that I don't love.
that I hate. That's making me depressed every single day.
Exactly. I'll do it more.
Have you come across anyone like that in your personal life? That kind of, you've shared like an idea or something and they've been like, nah, you just shut it down.
I guess that's why the film resonates with me still, is because I guess I've been both those characters. So, before I wanted to be an architect when I was older, right? And then the reason I didn't become an architect is because when I did my work experience as a 16-year-old, the architect told me, don't do this job for money, you have to do it for passion, because only the top architects get paid. Like things. So me go, well, I want money. Yeah. So I don't have time for passion, because I grew up in a household that they weren't struggle like stuff, but it's like I could see I couldn't get everything I wanted.
Of course.
It could have been a bit more comfortable and stuff. So it's like I want money. So I can't be doing things for passion. I didn't ask what money was. I didn't really think about
what the brackets are. Exactly. What's the minimum?
What his perception of not a lot of money. He could have told me a thing and goes, "That's what you get." I'm like, "That's
a lot of money."
But I didn't ask, because I was just like, "Oh well, I'm not going to do it." Then the irony is also I didn't want to do it because you had to study for 7 years in total. Yes. I was like, I don't have time to study for 7 years. I end up becoming an accountant, which you study for 7 years, and I have no passion for accounting or numbers. But you get paid. Yeah, exactly. I just have an aptitude towards it, and I could do it, but I think it pays. It had like a good minimum salary if you're qualified. So I was like, I'll do that job. Yeah. So again, it's a complete sellout of passion, dream, and stuff. So just entered the rat race, literally, and then just kept on doing that, head down, do that. So then when I did the course, now it was just like, no, be unreasonable and actually like follow what you're passionate about. It's like, right, comedy, completely different thing. It's that one in 100 chance. Now in that race where it's okay, you're being creative, you're trying out these ideas in front of strangers. You don't know if they're going to go with it. You don't know if they like it or not. And it's just like, right, I'm putting myself out there to do that. And if I remember, I'm someone who's got a solid career, and people are like, why you want to do this comedy thing? Yeah. Like, there's the chance you're making a living from it. Yeah. It's tiny. Slim. But I was like, that's actually what I'd want to do. So that's why when I watched Pursuit of Happyness again today, I was like,
hit different.
Yeah, so I've been Tandy Newton, and I've also been Will, in the sense of, I'm going to actually dream big and go. And I
love that. Yeah. I'm a bit of a hippie anyway, so I think everyone should just pursue what kind of makes them happy first. Get paid for it, amazing. But of course I get people have bills to pay, and that's like yourself. It kind of took me ages to get into. I studied media and at uni, but it took me like a good 4 or 5 years before I actually went into the industry. One, because I didn't know how to, didn't know anyone who had, and then two, also just plucking that courage to kind of like actually go for something that I'm more interested in and would enjoy. So I just stuck it out in the rat race, like just getting a paycheck, because I was like, well, this is safe and this is what I know. You carry the
fears of your parents.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like I said, my first generation here, so if you're telling them that you want to do anything other than, you know, a stable job and stuff, like my mum's so proud to tell people, he's an accountant. He's an accountant. Yeah. Like the comedy thing is literally like I said, done since 2016. She for the first time when she called me, I said, I was just about to do a gig. She said, sorry, I didn't realise you was working today.
Oh, she called it work?
Yeah, and that was the first time she's ever called it that. It's just like, so you're still doing that, the comedy thing. That's not going to interfere with your job, is it? Like, they're not going to sack you because it's that kind of fear. They're not going to sack you from your job. It's like, Mum, they know I do comedy, they don't care. They literally don't care. It's
exactly.
Like, okay, right. Just in her head, like that fear.
But that's because she's obviously wants like you to be safe and 100%. Just have security. And I get where that fear comes from. I didn't understand it when I was younger, but obviously you grow up and you're like, okay, I kind of get where you're coming from. You just want us to not suffer or whatever and struggle. But then it really stunts your growth. It really stunts your, as a creative person as well. It like just really crushes your soul.
100%. And that was part of why I wanted to do it like a stable job. So because I told myself, I'll do this job and have the money. So then when I have kids, I can let them go, just do whatever you're actually passionate about.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But then when I survive to have kids, if I keep on doing if I'm just in this
keep doing race, this,
and just like, actually, I'm hating life. I don't want to be that parent either who's now bitter coming in from work and just like, I don't want to talk to anyone because it's just rubbish day. Well, I don't want to talk to anyone and stuff. I thought, no, so I need to
find that balance.
Yeah, I need to have some happiness in my life. Then I think you'd be better.
You're able, exactly.
So to share it and go,
and that's where looking after yourself and then you can look after others comes into it.
Exactly.
So we're going to have a quick fire round.
Sure.
Questions. So, first question. Favourite black actor?
I guess it is Will Smith.
Oh!
I guess it is Will Smith, yeah.
Will for the win. Why is he your favourite actor?
Like I said earlier, it's just that I seem to just lock into his emotion, whatever he's doing on the screen and stuff. Like even I Am Legend. I don't care about dogs. Right, I'm looking at I don't care about dogs.
You want that smoke?
I don't care about dogs.
Oh my God.
I watched I Am Legend.
And you were ready to get a German Shepherd.
I was broken. I was like, no, they took his dog.
Yeah.
And it was that in the sense of...
It's a relationship.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
So sweet and beautiful.
But that's what I'm saying in the sense of I don't care about dogs. But then when I watched this film...
You understood.
I was just like, I feel for him. I feel for the dog. I feel everything. So it's just like, wow, this guy, every film I watch him in, it's the same thing. Yeah. It's just like,
he's able to evoke those emotions from you, which is such a beautiful thing. Favourite black actress?
Favourite black actress between two people.
Say the two.
So I'll say the one that's least popular, I guess. So it'd be Kerry Washington.
Okay. Why do you say she's least popular?
Oh no, of the two.
Okay.
The other one I'm going to say, you're like, oh yeah, of course, is Viola Davis.
Obviously.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah. So, and it's a similar thing of I don't think anyone does facial pain better than Kerry Washington, right? In my mind.
Oh, right? Okay. I was going to say Viola.
No, Kerry Washington, she does this thing with her mouth, that when she's upset, it's like this weird snarl.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's just like, she looks so disgusted and hurt.
It's almost like I'm smelling something not nice.
Yeah.
But I don't want to commit.
What was the series that...
Scandal?
No, it was it Burning the House?
Oh.
It's the house burns down.
The book.
It's the book one, and she's the artist and...
Yeah.
Like, just her... It's just that kind of snarl she kept on doing. She's just mad about something. I was just like...
We call that the Kerry face.
Yeah.
Like me and my sisters, it's the Kerry face.
So I found the Kerry face. And
Yeah.
then and the Viola Davis, it's just like...
Phenomenal.
I feel bad because like any film that I think, all right, needs a strong black lead. I was like, just get her. Just get her. I was like, there's so many other black
There's
actresses.
so many.
They do this spread the work.
Yeah.
But in my head, like...
Just give
it to her.
Viola.
Just give it to her. Just
Yeah.
give it to her.
She cries. She's got the best cry.
Mm.
I don't know who... It's not... when she cries, I'm crying. I don't even know what we're crying about. But, like, her cry is... It cuts deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. In Fences.
Yes. Man.
That was one of the best. She should have just won for cry.
Yeah.
I don't even know. That needs to become a
Best
category.
cry.
Best cry. And then she could win it because
yeah.
it was phenomenal. What's your top 5 Will Smith films?
Top 5 Will Smith. So Pursuit of Happyness will be there. I guess I'm Legend.
I'm Legend.
Men in Black.
Okay.
Because it does have to be the deepest film.
Do it. No. I just said
Same
favorite.
as Wild Wild West as well.
Is that in there?
I just find it a really
Oh
funny
my God.
film.
Okay.
I
Top
find
5.
it a really funny film. I'm not sure it's top 5, but it gets a special mention for the score, for the theme song.
I mean, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
It's always a problem when the songs get better than the film.
Yeah.
That I'm always a bit like...
The film, I'll go through the film. The film's funny dances. It's the song that I like.
The song is phenomenal.
So
the video was great.
The video.
Great.
What's the robot one?
iRobot.
Is that a robot? Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought. Yeah.
I was supposed to say I am.
Yeah, because I Am Legend does that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
£7. Is it
£7
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Is amazing. And I remember being
You think of 7
traumatized.
days as well.
I was
It's like,
thinking,
is it-
7 seconds.
Yeah.
There was just so much happening.
Yeah.
And I remember being so traumatized about that because
Yeah.
it's all about like donors
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot. And I was like, I'm a donor. I'm going to
Yeah.
hide my card. Let me just hide my card.
£7 is the first Will Smith film that I didn't cry at, and that's simply because my flatmate at the time, I hadn't seen £7. She goes, "Oh, you got to watch £7. You will cry."
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, so because he'd set that in my head, I'm
You were like, "Nah,
I bet I won't."
I'm not going to cry.
So then I watched it. I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's emotional. It
I cried.
Ain't Pursuit of Happiness." You know what I mean? So
Pursuit of Happiness is at the top.
yeah, if I just watched it, then I would have just been like, "Oh man, like this film's mad."
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you could play any of Will's characters, which one would
Oh.
you play and why?
I just did Will Smith's top. I didn't even say Bad Boys.
That's why you mentioned Wild Wild West and you didn't say Bad Boys.
I didn't say Bad Boys.
I mean, I took that personally because Bad Boys is my fave.
I do what because when you said which one was I
Enemy
playing,
of the State.
yeah, Independence Day. There's loads.
I mean,
But when you said which one was I playing, I'm like, oh, Bad Boys. I'll be.
so now you think about
Yes, I
it.
thought about it.
Michael Lowry
Yeah,
is a
Mike
G.
Lowry, so-
Yeah. What's your favourite Chris Rock special?
What is this?
We're just gonna
you
throw
just
in a
added that in?
curveball. Yeah. Adam threw that in there for me. Yep.
Two of them, I get them confused in my own head, and it's Big or Black, and then there's one. Is it before? That's after that. But Adam's there, he knows it.
Adam.
Bring the pain.
Bring the pain.
That's why he's it. That's why he's it. Yeah.
So it's those two that merge in my head
Right.
sometimes. But I think Bring the Pain was... It was almost like... Bring the Pain was Chris Rock trying to be Chris Rock.
Got you.
Being a Black is... Nah, I'm Chris Rock.
Okay.
Like, this is... I know who I am.
He's found himself
Yeah,
now.
I know who I am now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he was just bam, 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 bam throughout the whole thing. So yeah, I'm happy to watch that.
I find
again.
them all funny, so to
Yeah.
me they're all one. Are you late or early person?
Early, which is
Ooh.
hard as a comedian.
And a black comedian.
And the fact, well, early person. I'm early in the sense of I'm more switched on in the morning.
Yeah.
I turn
not
up
a
to
morning
things
person.
on time or early. I mean, like there isn't two circuits of comedy, but there are.
Yeah.
About the is, I should say, sorry. And because I've always straddled both, but most of the gigs I did when I started were like mainstream white gigs. So when they go, turn up at 7, show starts 7:30, you're going to be on at this time.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. And I just did that. And then shout out Junior Booker.
Hey, Junior.
So I would hit his show, and he's like, yeah, show starts at 7. So me like an idiot. turns up at 7 at the venue. I'm like, oh, I'm here for like Junior Booker show. And the guy behind the bar's like, yeah, Junior's not here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is the show still on? He's like, yeah, I think so. I'm like, okay,
Think
cool.
so. Yeah.
And then it gets to 7:30. It's like, no. 8 o'clock. And then I see some guy that's walking down the road. Then he's just chilling outside, chatting and stuff. I'm just like, oh, okay. And then he goes, oh, you Darran, did you text me about the gig? I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, it's on and stuff. The meeting starts like 9. He's like, right. So then once he's done it once, though, he's like, okay, I know Junior's show.
Yes.
So Junior, I'm going to go on first. So I'm going to turn up about 9:30 and then I'll just leave. And stuff. And it was always funny because you'll get there because it was a fun hangout and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're just chilled comedians before.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
you just see someone walking in, like some white guy from out of town. He's like, I'm here for the Junior Booker show. I'm like, yeah, you're too early. Like, what you thought was going to happen today,
it's not going to happen
today, bro.
You're going to wait for a while.
You're waiting. So sit down, get a drink.
What hobby do you wish you'd started sooner?
I guess it's not a hobby now, but comedy. But it's weird, actually. I say that, but I think if I did start comedy earlier, then I wouldn't have had so much kind of life experience to talk about things. I would have just been a comedian talking about doing comedy. So I think I can see that sometimes with some comedians who've got success early, is they don't really know how to relate to someone who's talking about their day job and you know, their boss and this and that, because all they've known is comedy kind of thing. But yeah, I guess that. Yeah, really.
Pizza or burgers?
I guess pizza. Yeah.
So impressed how hard that was.
You know, ask me like questions about world politics.
You struggled on that one. You were like, oh, life and death.
Listen, when I'm out at a restaurant, my wife's frustration for her.
Are you one of those who were like, oh, I don't know?
Because I'm not that picky when it comes to eating. Like, I'll eat most things. So for her, she has more dietary requirements. So she immediately goes, well, I'm not eating that because that's got that in it. I'm not eating that, so I'm going to go for that. Whereas I'm there going, and then when they come over, you ready to order? I'm like, speak to her first.
Yeah.
Right. And I need that pressure. Like,
got you.
I'm having the prawns.
You're like, ah!
Yeah, and then if they go, we're out of prawns, but okay.
Oh, sugar. But that's it for the quick fire round. Lastly, if you had to direct people to YouTube to watch a clip to entice them to watch The Pursuit of Happyness, what clip would it be and why?
Ooh. Yeah, it can't just be the toilet scene, because that's like, what enough's going on.
It'll just look like child abuse.
Yeah, exactly. So why is this man sleeping with a child in the toilet? It's his dad. And his dad doesn't make it better. So
yeah. It just gets worse from that point.
Yeah. The scene. It would have to be the running. It would be the running scene where he gets hit by the car, loses his shoe, and the driver's like, am I allowed to swear? Yeah. So I haven't sworn because I feel like you did.
I think I have.
Yeah. Well, it's not even a massive swear word, but it's when the driver gets there, it's like, hey, arsehole, you okay, arsehole? It's like
you just run him over.
He need to go to hospital. It's the concern, but it's like, but you're an arsehole because you just ran out in front of my car and you shattered my windscreen.
And I could have killed you.
Yeah, and so it's all of that. I would, if I hadn't seen the film, if I saw that, I'd be like,
and also he references I've got an intern at Dean Whitaker, whatever it's called. Yeah. And so you're like, okay, he's obviously got something very important that he needs to get to. That's why he doesn't care about his life.
Doesn't care about his life. He was chasing something and then he stopped it because he literally got licked up by a car. So I just got to go back this way then. Like, not even take it.
That's actually a really good scene because it's exciting enough and interesting enough that you want to see what's going to happen next. Yeah. I do like the obvious one when they're playing basketball. And again, Will gives one of the best motivational speaches you'll ever hear in your life, but because he just shut him down from what he wanted to do and just corrected himself, a parenting point that he likes to call it. So I just think that's a really cool scene because it's about them too, and it's about like going for your dreams and stuff like that. So
100%.
I think that's nice.
Yeah, man.
It sums everything up. Thank you for picking one of my favourite films, by the way. Like, I'm surprised, and I don't think we've done any Will films.
Yeah, because when we was discussing about what film I was going to pick, I don't know. Then you naturally go, I don't want to pick a bait one because someone's already done that. Then when I looked
You'll be surprised.
All the previous, I thought, wow, some people gone left field with some of their films. I was like, I didn't know that was a film.
It was real homework.
Yeah. I was like, bro, I don't even know what to say about that film.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let me just think more simple. I was like, oh, someone thought of that? And I like went through the clips, but maybe you haven't posted it. I was like,
oh, no.
Pursuit of Happyness? Like, no. It's like, oh, okay,
it's fantastic. Yeah. It made me very happy, and of course, very apt timing with what happened. It's like we manifested it. I'm blaming us for the Oscar feud. We are fully responsible for that beef. But thank you so much, Darran. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Nice one.